Ding ding. It is 10 o'clock p.m. on the western coast of the old United States. It is 0500 GMT. Trying to do math in my head here is not a good thing. I'm Sebastian.
I'm SaraBelle.
And we are here from both of us different locations tonight, SaraBelle. This is very strange.
I know, we are both actually in the same city, however not in the same studio.
Yeah, which is weird, but I mean, this is okay because we're kind of getting used to doing things a little bit differently, and I don't mind that. I think that's a good thing. I also have been working my ass off as far as my job today. So I have done like 6 classes and I have 3 more before the night is over, yet I have this little teensy window of time for the fast food, junk food extravaganza.
Yay, extravaganza. Yeah, I too have a new job, so I have been the busy also.
Yes, of course. And I'm going to bust open the Cheetos here. These are not really Cheetos. These are cheese-flavored puffs. But the funny thing is, these are the cBas brand, just because I happened to be at the drugstore and I bought them. Now, one time I bought these cBas popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did I regret that. Like, that popcorn was not good. It was not very delicious. It was the cheesy cheddar kind, the white cheddar, but it was not very
yeah, I like the white cheddar.
Yeah, I do. I love the white cheddar popcorn. But it turns out the Cheeto imitation puffs from cBas are very cheesy and just very Cheeto-like.
Yes, I enjoy me some puffs. I think my favorite have been the Albertsons brand because the Walmart brand,
Okay.
because they actually have the cheese balls. Do you remember, like in the 80s and early 90s,
Absolutely.
Planters Peanuts
Yeah.
had cheese balls, and they came in that blue can, blue lid, and exactly. And so Planters does not have any more cheese balls, but Walmart has the generic brand.
By the way, what's up with that, Planters? Why would you give up on the cheese balls? I assume it's because of low sales, but I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, it was like the best one ever, and for some reason you didn't gorge on them, because I feel like when I get the Walmart one, I'm just like, but yeah, whatever.
Yes, whatever. If you're wondering who the hell we are, why we're here, if this happens to be your first time to the show, we're kind of fast food, junk food aficionados. Both in terms of salty snacks, in terms of sweet snacks, in terms of candy bar, in terms of fast food, and of course, delightful soda. I have the usual drink of the night, Code Red. Very adventurous for me, as you know.
You know what? I actually have a new drink of the night. This is the second time I've had it. I have it in a lovely 2-liter bottle. I'm going to turn it, but it is Pepsi Lime. It is a lime Pepsi.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I don't know how I feel about that. Tell me your thoughts.
I've actually really enjoyed it. I think the only other lime soda I've had has been Diet Coke with lime. But this is just normal, full-on, regular Pepsi with lime. I like it better than the... didn't they have Pepsi with lemon for a little while? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I think so,
but
too.
No, I've definitely been enjoying it, and it's just got a little bit of a different flavor to it to kind of make it, enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of limey goodness is actually a really good thing. For instance, I know it's not in the beverage realm, this is in the chip realm, but have you had, do you like Tostitos, those corn chips?
I do like Tostitos. I think they are a nice thinner one than the traditional restaurant tortilla chips we get here in the Southwest.
Yeah, they seem like they're just lighter in consistency. I didn't think of thinness as the variable, but could be.
But thin, yeah.
But then they have Tostitos with the hint of lime, and it's essentially like a Dorito. The chip is roughly the same. It's a corn chip, but then it has this kind of green, salty green stuff on it, and I gotta say, that's pretty goddamn good. I'm not a salsa eater. I'm told from people who like salsa that it goes really well with the salsa.
And see, I'm not a salsa eater either. I have liked when my cousin's wife has taken a block of cream cheese and dumped salsa over it, and that's kind of like an impromptu dip. Because I would always scrape off the salsa, but there's enough little tomato residue left with the cream cheese.
Absolutely.
And I imagine that would be really good with the lime chips.
And I mean, as I said, I've often been subject to the trick of what is it? Oh, it's not that spicy, Sebastian. This salsa is not that spicy. It's not that hot. This is
Yes, it
mild
is.
salsa.
No.
Bullshit, right? Because we know how spicy it is. It's just really funny to me that, and it's funny, my mom does that same thing with a block of cream cheese and then some salsa dipped over it. And you know what? It turns out to be really good. I mean, cream cheese on anything is good. You put enough cream
And another one that I've seen my friends do is cottage cheese and salsa in the same bowl and mix it up because it's got that same that dairy cut to anything hot kind of helps it, kind of like when you have chicken wings and blue cheese. It's supposed to help.
Yeah, I can see that. I do see that, and the truth is, I sort of made the cottage cheese face, but the truth is, I really don't hate cottage cheese quite that much. In fact, I can see it kind of doing a slightly less fatty, similar function. You know, like I can see that. That's not really all that bad. Now, if it were like skim cottage cheese or fat-free cottage cheese or something, now we're talking disgustorama.
No, I just need the plain old 2%. You know, get the thing at Costco because it's $5 versus the tiny one at the store. But
sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, while you have your Cheetos, I'm going to have my nursing home snack that was provided to me. A little package of Fig Newtons.
Hey, free Fig Newtons. That's nothing wrong with that. Now, are these the fig-style Fig Newtons? Are these blueberry, strawberry, what?
These are the original Fig Newtons. Because now when you go to the stores, you find the blueberry and the pomegranate and the whole wheat and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, just give me the original, old school. Wow, these are mutants. These are like long, like long.
Yeah. I've seen the longer Fig Newtons before. I will say this: I'm not a fan of the fig. Those little tiny seeds.
That is the down part of the seeds.
Yeah, it's like that crunch. When you crunch those tiny seeds, it's like crunching sand or something in your mouth. Like I just feel like, ugh, I get goosebumps.
I totally get the feel. I do.
Yeah. But the strawberry ones, I could eat an entire package of strawberry Newtons or blueberry Newtons or any of those. We were talking, when I was thinking about that, I got to thinking about the cereal. A couple of weeks ago, we did the various kinds of frosted mini wheats. Breakfast cereal, frosted mini wheats, which is a favorite of mine. Only, what's my one complaint, SaraBelle, about the frosted mini wheats?
They didn't have enough frosting.
Always. And I've said this. I've said this since 1980 when I was 5 years old. I just dated myself for anybody watching. So whatever. I mean, I guess I'm getting too old to give a shit about that anymore. But yes, I've always said I wish they would either put them through the frosting machine twice.
One more time, yeah.
Or put them on both sides so that the backs get frosting too, or just plain turn up the volume on the fucking frosting machine. Like, whatever you're doing, I want more in some way.
Yeah, it's like my frosting goes to 11, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I would like to have frosted mini wheats that are on 11. And I've never had them. Now, every so often you get a box or a bag of them that does have kind of higher than average frosting on the biscuits, right? The problem with that is, for the same proportion of the time, you get the box of frosted mini wheats that looks like it has not gone through the frosting machine
at all. Right.
Which is also bullshit. So I feel like the fact that you occasionally get an extra frosting bag sort of by accident
makes up for it.
Yeah, it's completely canceled out by the fact that every so often you get regular shredded wheat. And I'm sorry, it's like the people who eat plain oatmeal. How much do you have to hate your life to eat shredded wheat that is unfrosted or oatmeal that is plain? I find it unfathomable.
It's completely gross. And I've been here when they've been delivering breakfast to my nana, my grandmother, and her options for breakfast, she gets oatmeal. They don't give any sugar packets. They don't give any raisins. They don't give any fruit. It's just the plain, Oliver Twist rule,
And I mean, are you supposed to have your own toppings? Is that the idea? They just don't do it with any frills? Is this
I think they're trying to keep, the sugar content and the food content down. But I'm like, who would willingly eat just plain oatmeal with no sugar, no flavor, no fruits, no anything?
I'm sorry, unless you're a character in a Charles Dickens novel. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Exactly.
I don't get it. And yet, I mean, I will say this: I know someone in my family from whom I am descended that actually, not just sometimes, daily has a sort of a tall, like Circle K styrofoam cup kind of a thing with oatmeal in there and water. And again, no raisins, not even raisins. To me, I mean, here's the thing. We talked about cereal had with fruit on top. That is a very 1950s idea, right? Like I was growing strawberries for a while, and my mom said, "Oh, you have 3 strawberries. You can cut them up and put them on cereal." And I'm like, that is the most kind of, to me, perverse and bizarre idea. I would much rather just eat the 3 berries and have regular cereal.
At least it's not like putting ice cubes in your cereal,
which we both find perverse and bizarre. And we talked about that. If you missed that episode, do look up our episode about. I wish I could provide a link here because that was a good one. My partner Sarah, who you see me talking to here, actually discovered. It was a BuzzFeed article, I think.
Yeah, it was a BuzzFeed article, and some of the tweets from the BuzzFeed article went all the way back to like 2012.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just disgusting. I'm sorry. It's no.
I mean, and now here's the thing. I think, as we talked about, it might come from a place that we don't think about. For instance, like places where milk is non-refrigerated. Or some other kind of thing where refrigerated to keep it colder longer makes sense, but we always were very concerned about the dilution of the milk. Like you want water in there with your milk.
Yeah,
that's really bizarre. Okay, I'm going on kind of a long introduction about this because I have found a product. It is not Frosted Mini Wheats. It is not, in fact, a breakfast cereal at all, and it's not even in the sweet category. But finally, someone at Pop Secret got my letters and responded. What do you see here?
Pop Secret double butter.
Double butter microwave popcorn. Now I ask you, have you ever heard of anything so heavenly in your life?
Well, see, we've run into this problem because when we've gone to the movie theater, you want the double butter, extra butter thing, and I just want the plain, not swimming in butter.
But you do like some butter.
Oh, I do like some butter, but I think our movie theater butter ratio is slightly off.
Well, it's not. We don't share the same thing. We usually get like 2 separate bags, or at least bring a second bag and share it. But the idea being, like, I feel like plain popcorn is in the category with plain shredded wheat and plain oatmeal. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly.
And so this, I don't have any popped here. You can see it's been open because I did try a bag earlier in the week, and it's just what you think it is. It's really good.
It's delicious. It was wonderful.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's got the yellow coloring on all of the kernels. Sometimes it's even like neon bright yellow because of how, and as I said, I'm not a big popcorn eater, but I eat it enough to know that this is what I've been waiting for in my life. And I'm sorry, if Pop Secret can do double butter, I think the folks at Kellogg's or Big G or whoever it is that makes Frosted Mini Wheats can do Extreme Mini Wheats or something.
I think they should. Yeah.
I don't see, I mean, and here's the thing. I know if they do it, it'll be a test market product. It'll be there for 3 weeks in Columbus, Ohio and Fresno, California, and it won't come to me and it won't come to you. And it'll just be something we see on Facebook once or BuzzFeed or Twitter once or something. But yeah, that's kind of my discovery of the week. The really big news that I had was the double butter Pop Secret popcorn that is now, and I mean, it doesn't say new. It doesn't say for a limited time only. This is just, I guess, a new thing now. Double butter.
Double butter.
I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I love it. You're watching the Fast Food Junk Food Extravaganza. We do this show more or less every Saturday. We've had a couple Saturdays where we did reruns. And in watching those reruns, Miss SaraBelle, I really miss the old format of the show. And in a number of ways.
Together.
I mean, us sitting together was one thing, but there's a whole lot that is different between how we do it now and how we did it at the beginning of the year. It used to be a 15-minute long show, and we would do, sections in 15 minutes. So 15 minutes per section rather than a straight hour continuous. It was edited. We had more than one camera. We had graphics and music. I mean, it was high production value, I got to say.
Right.
And it's, I mean, I guess I could take credit for that because I did all the work. The
You
problem,
did all the work. Yeah, I just was there with you.
well, you were the co-host, and that's an important job. But I mean, it was a lot of work because for a 15-minute long thing, it would take, you know, 8 to 12 hours of computer
We had
processing and
to
editing.
camera.
I have
Yeah.
to I have to render the video. I have to render the graphics. I have to make sure the audio is synced up with the video, and that was really the big clusterfuck. And the truth is, my poor old computer that runs Final Cut Pro finally was just unable to really seem to do it. Like, I don't know what it was that was the problem, but you could literally line up two things of video and a thing of audio. And here at the beginning, they'd be perfectly synchronized. And within 5 minutes of going down the timeline, there would
It's
be a
gone.
delay. Yeah. And I mean, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to topple that problem, which is why the program, I mean, that's part of the reason why the program shifted its format. The other main reason is that we were in different locations and still wanted to be able to communicate with each other. And I think this is an okay way of doing the show. I mean, you and I have it down. We know what we're doing, and we have our expertise. But as I say, looking at the reruns, it makes me really miss the old way of doing it, especially SaraBelle, especially the on-the-road segments.
Yes. Well, you know, I was wondering if you were going to segue into that because we do have the possibility of an on-the-road segment or 10 coming up.
10?
Well, maybe not 10. I mean, that's a lot, but
no, I mean,
more than 2.
Yeah, we do for sure. And the reason is what?
We are going to Seattle for our friend's gay wedding. Yay!
Oh my God, a lesbian wedding, and we're going to be there, and we may just bring the whole show there, depending on exactly what.
Depending on what time everything happens, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's happened, and I think I committed to it on this show a couple weeks ago. For people who don't care, you're not going to care, but like, we're totally. You're going back home to Portland to kind of deal with your affairs there, and when you are up there doing that, I am going to fly up to Portland, and then we are going to drive up for the lesbian. Brought to you by Belch Beer, the lesbian wedding. And during the trip, I imagine we may have some snacks or some food along the way. How long is that drive?
The drive is a little bit more than Tucson to Phoenix, so maybe 2.5, 3 hours, depending on traffic.
Okay.
But what time do you fly into Portland on Friday?
I'll have to look. I'm pretty sure the flight to Portland is one of those like leaving at 6 a.m. deals.
Getting there at noon.
It's not going to mean you have to get up at 6 a.m., of course. I don't think I fly in until like 10 or 11 or maybe even noon.
Yeah.
But something like that. And I think the flight back is a nice leisurely afternoon flight, so I don't have to get up very early. Which will be easy for me to get to the airport in Portland. But anyway, so hopefully if you're a fan of the show, or particularly a fan of the old format of the show, you'll be able to enjoy a couple of episodes of that, assuming I can get the video editing computer back up and running. But it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, you're kind of in the same town as me now, so we even have the potential for doing some things at some places around town here. I was thinking of an episode. We never did an episode at the sweet dessert place.
No, at our sweet, something sweet or just desserts, or that place that's next to the place where it used to work near.
Exactly. And the funny thing is that we didn't. We did an episode where we talked about it. We had some discussion or some sort of reviews of the food that we ate. And by the way, when I watched that episode again, we actually ate a lot of food. Your picture seems to be frozen, my dear. I don't know what's going on right now. Hopefully,
drinking a cup of coffee. Can you or a cup of soda?
It's slowly improving.
Okay.
Anyway, we did a review of a lot of the food, and as I was going to say, when we talked about it. Holy shit, did we order a lot of dessert that time?
We ordered a lot of food for the two of us, yeah.
And I mean, we can both put it away, but even though I was kind of like, oh my God, we ate flan and ice cream puffs and this and that and had caramel hot chocolate. Like, I mean, that's a lot of good shit. It all comprised.
Well, I can imagine what's going to happen when I take you to Voodoo Donuts, because what we can do is I can pick you up off the airport and it's maybe a 15-minute jaunt to Voodoo Donuts. And that can be our first Portland recording broadcast type And
Hmm.
I'm waiting to see your eyes just kind of pop out of your head. It's going to be lovely.
Well, here's the thing, and I've said this before. When it comes to donuts, I'm kind of a weird bird in some ways. Like I talk, and in fact, I kind of shit on the people who like plain stuff a lot. When it comes to popcorn or ice cream or popcorn or oatmeal, I'm trying to say, or shredded wheat, any kind of cereal that's plain, I kind of shit on people who like plain stuff. But when it comes to donuts, like I have seen many pictures, and they're great pictures of the Voodoo donuts, the ones that have
Mhm.
cereal on top of them. But
Right.
I don't feel like that is something that is attractive to me as far as something to eat. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I would much rather just have a 12 pack of Krispy Kreme plain glazed donuts than any of that kind of frou-frou shit.
Right. And well, there is a
Um,
Krispy Kreme here in town. There's another donut place called Blue Star, which is another one of those kind of not but they have different ingredients kind of donuts. And they're one of those places that aren't open 24 hours like Voodoo. And they make things in batches. So when that batch is gone, that batch is gone.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when they have, their announcements on their Facebook of what donut of the day is, sometimes if you get there, 2, 3 hours late, they're gone. So
Wah, wah, wah. Although I do like the concept. I like that as a concept for a food place because that's very much embracing the modern day kind of social media aspect of the
right.
world we live in. This is not the old fashioned buying 30 seconds on local TV on Saturday night to reach the people who are stoners and home watching TV. This is, the 21st century. Come and get it while you can because it's
Right.
extreme strawberry, you know, uh, whatever the
Extreme.
hell it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of extreme donut, which I like. Speaking of extreme, let's shift gears a little bit to Doritos.
Yes.
You brought to me in my attention a concept I was unfamiliar with and I mean, I'm still trying to gauge exactly how much I like the idea because frankly, the gay pride thing, the rainbow thing, I can
Mm.
kind of how do I say this without sounding like I'm anti-gay or anti-pride or whatever? I feel like I don't know exactly how to say it. I just am struggling with this, but I feel like I don't really give a shit about that sort of stuff for the most part, and the
Mm.
fact that Doritos. Tell me again what Doritos is doing. Is it
Okay, so what
Doritos?
Doritos is doing is this week, Doritos unveiled a colorful twist on their classic Doritos Ranch. Doritos partnered with LGBT nonprofit It Gets Better, and they produced the limited edition version of the Cool Ranch flavored tortilla chips, and they are going to be the boldest and most colorful way to advertise or to promote the LGBT community. And it's very colorful.
Okay.
I'm not sure here. Let's see.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. The bolder one. It's in this. Yeah. So it is still Cool Ranch. It's still going to be multiple colors. But what the big story was is that on social media. Now my page isn't loading. Social media, a guy posed as Doritos, replying to all of the negative comments. So he's got screenshots that come up, and I'll send you the link if you want. But basically, there's one that was saying, "Why not promote purity and family?" And Doritos comes back with, or Doritos for Health is what the Facebook was. Craig Hudson, Josh Duggar already has a purity and family on lockdown. We didn't want to take that away from him. Is there anything else we can help you out with today? And so it's just people kind of trolling, the Doritos, and he has a lot of snappy comebacks for the people who are being hateful and anti-gay. I think we saw this with Target also, that someone made a fake Target account responding to all of the gender neutrality that was going on. So,
And I'm sort of trying to pull up. Oops. The fake account, or what is it? Here we go. I just saw the story there, and then it went away. Facebook. Okay, man poses as Doritos on Facebook, trolls
yeah,
haters of its new pro LGBT thing. What is this disgusting product doing in my feed? Remove it now. I do not support child molesters and evil companies. All right. So, I mean, apparently he's trying to say what? I
Well,
guess
did you
what?
read the response that fake Doritos gave? Go back up to the child molesters, and I think it's something like, "Are you confusing us with the Subway commercial?"
Oh, yeah. And that's actually kind of a dig at the folks at Subway. And not
Yeah,
only that, that's actually very funny as well as kind of, I don't know. I mean, in a way, it's almost unfair to Subway.
right.
But it's not a bad comeback. Like that's actually pretty witty and pretty funny. Um,
Right.
and evil companies. I mean, I don't really give a shit about the rainbow Doritos. I probably won't even buy them. But you know, it's nice. I do love that they're sort of taking digs at the anti-gay conservative people. Um, and I did not even hear about the story about Target. He posed as customer service for Target, and
Yeah. Last month, because I think I was still in Portland, Target removed the backdrop of their pegboards. So in the girls section it was pink, and the boys section it was blue, and kind of in the gender neutral, like the baby stuff, it was like yellow or green.
uh-huh.
And they removed all of the backdrops, and so it's just the plain pegboards with no, color to identify gender. And so many people were up in arms saying, well, I'm not going to shop at Target. Dolls are for girls, and, tanks are for boys. And the fake Target account came back with some great zingers that were just, spot on, hilarious, making these people look like idiots,
I
basically.
mean, if only this were a show about that sort of thing, because like that actually
Yeah.
sounds really interesting. I'm looking at some of the, and I mean, I'm always amazed at the fucking like why not promote purity and family? And I love what they said about that. Oh, Josh Duggar already has purity and family on lockdown. Um, and they say stop using, and all he can come back with is stop using an agenda to promote your company. And they say, well, the gay agenda is too valuable and powerful not to use.
Right. And I think a lot of companies, part of their whole wanting to show that they're an ally. I mean, Oreo did it. Doritos is doing it. There's other companies that embrace Pride Week and go with rainbow themes. A lot of them truly are trying to be, adversaries, but some of them are just picking up on the gay bandwagon and promoting their product.
And I like this one. This asshole Kenneth Whitehead says, "Congrats, you just lost a lot of people. Way to go. LOL. What about pink for breast cancer awareness, or even blue to support the fallen police officers? Nope, you had to pick the one thing that would turn thousands away from your product." My problem with that is, okay, it's going to turn thousands of morons away and probably increase sales in the overall sense. Doritos are no longer allowed in my home, idiots. And what the response is pretty golden. "Hello, Kenneth. We at the Frito-Lay Company empathize with all of our customers. Judging on your profile picture, would you like it if we made a Doritos for people who would once again like to own slaves? What color would those Doritos be?" Holy fucking shit. That is amazing. And yeah, the Subway post, it didn't really, I didn't flash on exactly what that meant until I finally put it together in my head. Let's see. "I would like to know why something as dirty as homosexual back product made its way in, and by sampling of childlike comments here, I would say your supporters are not well educated. Peter, it appears with your last sentence that you yourself are not very educated. Either way, you seem upset and are most likely what we like to call hangry. Would you like a free bag of Doritos?" "Followed the trail of Doritos to my man-made glory hole. We at Frito-Lay are curious as what glory lies beyond this man-made hole of yours." I mean, these are actually sensationally hilarious comments. It's ionic that people won't buy your product because it's pro-LGBT. "Robert, it's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's like meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful..." That's funny as hell. "Lost a customer, not paying money to a company that panders, make chips and stay clear of politics. Very pathetic. Hello, Michael Hootman." And I love that they named them. They put their name in the reply every single time, first and last. "We at Frito-Lay are having quite the hoot at how many people find our recent support of the It Gets Better charity to be political. May we ask what it is you're upset over?" Your attempt at being funny using a play on my last name was gay. Stick to chips. Michael, how was it gay? From Oxford Dictionary, 3, informal, offensive, foolish, stupid, or unimpressive. For a company that's supposed to be hip, you can't use Google? He says, for somebody who studied civil engineering technology, you can't figure out that I'm a troll account? Oh, so this Doritos for Help is the troll account?
Yes, the Doritos for Help is a fake account that's replying to all these posts.
I see.
Yeah, if you look at all these posts, they say, like with Edward Lockard, it says to Doritos. But Doritos never replies. It's Doritos for Help that replies.
Uh-huh, I get it. So, I mean, the Doritos people have got to be high-fiving each other that some, like, pro-LGBT person is doing the dirty work for them.
Well, and the thing is, with the way that companies have their social media marketing, it could very well be a Doritos employee who is under the table or not named, or when they're sitting around the boardroom saying, oh, let me do it, please, I'll be the troll, you know?
I have purchased Doritos all over the world for 43 years. If you want to sell Rainbow by mail, I tell you now, I would never buy another of your long-ended products. This race to be PC sickens me. Thanks for your 43 years as a worldwide connoisseur of our famous Doritos. Unfortunately, you are well past what we in the business like to call our customer demographic. Your worldviews are just too outdated for our business model. Good luck, and we appreciate your patronage. Oh my God, absolutely. In what section? Do they mix in the chip aisle with the cereal yet? These comments are awesome. I mean, this is very hilarious. Here's the thing. Coming back to, us instead of the article, like, I started off by saying I don't really care about the gay pride movement that much, even though I'm gay. I covered the gay pride parade for a long time, and I quietly was kind of saying to myself, I feel like pride should be reserved for something you do, you accomplish, not something that you are. Like, I don't feel like there should be skin color pride. There should not be hair color pride. And I don't think really there should be sexual orientation pride, but, given the world that we live in, it's a reality and it's probably a good cause. Right. And I wouldn't give a shit about the chips until I see what I'm seeing here. This is hilarious and it's very funny and it's very sort of witty and smart, like way wittier and smart than the people who are, reacting to the negative negative comments. Like, I feel like the people who are freaking out are getting their shit handed to them on a plate, like it's actually very entertaining. Oh, I love that article. And I'm, you know what? Now that I've seen that, maybe I will buy some goddamn nacho or not. Are they nacho? They're not nacho. They're just.
Yeah, I would love to see them. They did say that it was a limited time offer. And I want to say that in another article, they actually said that they were $10 a bag instead of the traditional, like $3.49 because the profits, okay, there it is. It's $10 a bag.
Wow.
And the profits go to It Gets Better project. I'm sure you probably remember the It Gets Better where.
Sure. Now, the It Gets Better now, to separate this for a second from the thing I just talked about, how we shouldn't have pride about sexual orientation. The It Gets Better thing is something I'm very, very in favor of because, every gay guy was once a gay kid, and every gay guy was probably picked on or, had the slurs yelled at them when they were, being beat up or something like that. So the It Gets Better project is something that's enormously positive and enormously cool. And for these profits to go there, that's awesome. $10 a bag seems a little steep, but I still feel like the mileage they're getting out of this, kind of socially and sort of in the media kind of a thing. Like, I feel like the mileage they get will far outweigh however much it's costing them to sort of invest in this.
Right, exactly. And if you actually go to itgetsbetter.org, there is a link to, and that's where you get your bag. So what it is that you actually choose how much you want to donate, and it starts at $10. So I imagine there's a number of philanthropists out there or just activists who have money, unlike you and I, who are donating $100 or $200 to the It Gets Better project to have, the support,
Yeah, and they get a delicious bag of snacks as sort of their thank you and as a memento, perhaps. I don't know.
Right.
What an interesting thing. As I said, I've been working a lot. I have not actually prepared one goddamn thing for this episode, but thank goodness for my partner, Miss SaraBelle at NF on Twitter, because she actually has another story that was talking about, what was the story about some fast food employee refusing service to a
Right.
police officer?
Right. Whataburger, which is a fast food chain that we have here in Tucson that we don't have in Portland, officers were actually turned away from the Louisville Whataburger. Let's see, I can send you the link if you don't have it, but I'm sure
I can pull it up. Go ahead and just talk about it. Let's see here.
So basically what happened was that two police officers were coming into a Whataburger late night, and the person behind the counter said, "We don't serve police officers." And one officer thought that he was joking, so he turned to the other officers, like, is he being serious? And the employee never said anything else, and the officers were never served.
Wow. I'm looking at the article here, as you can see. They told the Fox affiliate in Texas, they stopped at a Whataburger in Louisville, Texas. First words we hear are, "We don't serve police officers here." And they were kind of in shock. They were both off duty. They later reported the incident. The employee was later fired. It was appalled, Whataburger said on Facebook. As soon as we heard of this isolated incident, I love the terminology, the wording they use when they're trying to walk it back. You know, they're trying to say, right. It's like every time you see the story about, what was the story we saw where somebody was like wiping the floor with hamburger buns or something?
Right. It was at a Checkers.
Yeah, and then somebody, like one of the VPs, comes on in a nice polo shirt on a video on the internet going,
"This is not our company. We provide blah, blah,
we
blah.
provide good service and value our customers, and we talk to the employee, and we're we feel confident that the food was never served, and blah 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 blah." It's like, yeah. I'm sure it was all off duty, and I'm sure they threw it all directly in the trash. But let's go on and looking at this here. The employee that refused service is no longer employed with Whataburger. We've also invited the officers back today so that we can apologize in person. And the Fort Worth police is supporting Whataburger, saying thanks. The man's name was withheld. He apparently told the ABC affiliate. The former employee said the comment was a joke and offered an apology to the company. First, I thought, oh man, this is a shame. All over the joke. His name is being withheld. I'm joking around with the police. I lose my job, something I've had over 9 years. Well, you're full of shit. Let's see here. Let's see. Similar to an incident, by the way, that I also hadn't heard of earlier this month in Florida, where the manager of an Arby's was fired after a comment to a police officer. The employee claimed the manager was making a joke when she told an officer, the employee doesn't want to serve you because you're a police officer. They offered free combos to any cop in uniform at Arby's after that. I mean, I don't know, man. There's just so much fucking bullshit out there lately, and it's bad enough. We're having a hard enough time overall. Cops are having a hard enough time. Fast food workers are having a hard enough time, and don't try to pull a stupid joke, and don't, by the way, do that thing about, well, I didn't mean for it to be offensive.
Right.
If it's something offensive, do not give that qualified apology. Do not say, I'm sorry you were offended. Do not say, just say, I'm sorry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't know. It really bothers me.
And there are legitimate reasons to refuse service to someone. If someone is inebriated, if someone is causing a scene and will be a physical threat to your other patrons, or if they are not, no shoes, no shirt, no service, body odor, craziness, throwing cats at people. Yeah. There are legitimate reasons to say, no, I won't serve you, but saying, just because of what job you have, I'm not going to serve you, regardless if it's an officer, a doctor, a stripper.
Or for that matter, like a homosexual, sometimes you can tell somebody's gay. And I think we've heard all stories, or, for that matter, a gay person or a black person or something. We just refuse the right, or we reserve the right to refuse service at any time to any customer, period.
Right.
Anytime we feel like. And it's like, well, guess what? Just because you put up a sign that says that doesn't actually mean you legally have the right to do any of that shit. And it doesn't mean you're immune from a lawsuit. And it certainly doesn't mean you're immune to like the wrath of the internet, because these days shit like that will go viral and you will be famous.
Well, in fact, there's a problem in Portland, actually, in one of the suburbs called Gresham, that a lesbian couple went to a bakery to have a wedding cake, and as the cake tasting started, and I'm sorry, we can't do this because our Christian faith won't allow us to do it. Well, they turned around, and on social media, the couple that was denied, the mother of the couple that was denied, posted on their Facebook, you know, how dare you do this? You know, we've gone to your bakery for years. And then the bakery was sued, but they weren't actually sued for denying someone because of homosexual, you know, because they were gay. They actually got sued because on Facebook, in a response, they put the people who they turned away their full names and their full addresses. So the internet is completely abuzz about, you know, we refuse the right to refuse service. And it's, well, yeah, they were taken to court. Yeah, they're being sued for so much money, but it wasn't because that they refused service to a gay person. It was because they released their information on the internet. And like 1 out of every 20 stories actually say that.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, there's actually, for instance, what was it? Let's go for a moment. And I mean, again, we're kind of going far from where we started, but whatever the fuck. The whole gay wedding cake thing is an interesting thing. If we go back to the story, I was going to pull up, because Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard of Star Trek The Next Generation, came out. And here's the thing. Patrick Stewart is a really cool British guy. He's obviously Captain Picard, and he's obviously, you know, very funny in his real life also. But he came out in favor of the right to choose for a bakery that wants to deny gay people a wedding. He kind of, and I gotta say, even as a gay guy, I kind of saw what he was saying. Let's see here. Patrick Stewart defended the Northern Irish bakery that rejected the support gay marriage cake. They were found guilty of discrimination after refusing to prepare a cake decorated with a same-sex marriage slogan. And it had, I guess, I always hate it. It looks like it's going to be one of the Bert and Ernie gay character things.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's funny at all. I do not find it funny when smart-ass people on the internet, comedians, whoever they are, like professional comedians or otherwise, turn the Sesame Street characters into stoners. That's not funny to me. I don't think it's funny when they turn them into homosexuals. Bert and Ernie aren't gay. They're not, you know, they're not gay. They're not brothers. They're just fucking roommates. Like, why is that? Why is that so impossible for people to wrap their heads around? And, you know, I really object to that. So, I mean, in that way, I kind of also object to this cake. But although the bakery's owners initially accepted the order, they called 2 days later to cancel it. Patrick Stewart said he found himself on the side of the bakers because nobody should be forced to write politically relevant text that they don't support. It was not because they were celebrating a marriage. It was the actual words on the cake that they found offensive. He went on to note, I would support their rights to say, no, this is personally offensive. I won't do this. And I kind of see that in a way, you know, and then Patrick Stewart came out to clarify his position on Facebook. Let's see here. I guess we don't get to read the entire thing, do we? Or do we?
Anymore.
He was talking, in his view, this particular matter was not about discrimination, but rather personal freedoms and what constitutes them. Both equality and freedom of speech are fundamental rights. And in this case, it underscores how we need to ensure one isn't compromised in pursuit of the other. That makes sense to me. You know, I know many disagree with my sentiments, including the courts. I respect and understand their position. What I cannot respect is that some have conflated my position on this single matter to assume I'm anti-equality or that he shares the belief of the bakers, which I think nobody smart would think that's true.
Right.
You know, but I kind of see that thing. Now, this does not extend to people like that whore, and I will call her a whore, in Kentucky, the woman who is the legal, the person who signed marriage certificates.
Man.
The woman who has been married several times and has a number of children out of wedlock.
I was going to say, the woman who got impregnated while she was married to one man by another man who was married.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now, I don't give a shit what that whore has to say, because in fact, I feel like, that's just, fine. You can have that belief. You can have that belief all you want to. Now, you don't get to be in the job you have having that belief. You do not get to decide that. And if you're going to decide to discriminate, even though you've been elected, let's say, to a particular job, and I don't know if she's elected or not. I think
she's an elected official that gets paid $80,000 a year. That's more than what, $1,250 a week?
Yeah. And, now she's being touted as some kind of hero to the conservative movement, and blah, 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 blah. So, that if your job is to give marriage licenses to people who are legally allowed to have marriage licenses, I'm sorry, I'm going to say the 3 key words that I love to say. Fuck your religion. Fuck you and fuck your religion. Nobody cares what you think. Your job, you have a job. If you don't want to if you don't want to do that job, go scoop ice cream. Go scoop rainbow Doritos at a Target, or so, I don't know, go do something else, but you don't get to have that job. Now, the free market thing, the bakery, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really force people to make a certain cake. God, you can be sure, you can be absolutely positive that there's going to be another bakery somewhere
that will do that job. And
will do it great.
A lot of memes that have come out that were, because Kim Davis was, doesn't believe in this, still does their job. And a number of just people from movies or other things was like, so-and-so doesn't believe in this, but still does their job,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the thing.
Yeah, you got to do your job. I mean, it's that simple. And especially if you have kind of a government job,
where you're elected,
you don't get to pick and choose. You do not get to pick and choose. I'm sorry.
What? And I've seen this so many times on Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter, just saying, just because you're allergic to, or just because you don't like a sandwich, that doesn't mean that you can decide what everyone at Subway eats.
Exactly. There's a million things I don't like. I don't like sweet and salty tastes in my mouth at the same time. That doesn't mean if I get it in my mouth. Yeah, that doesn't mean if I get a job at McDonald's, I refuse to serve McGriddles on the fact that I don't like the taste of them. Therefore, nobody on my shift gets a McGriddle.
Exactly.
That's not okay. That is incorrect, and you don't get to have that job. You don't get to decide that. I'm sorry. I really think that woman should be. I don't feel like enough bad stuff has happened to her. Interestingly, and I feel like the internet. I'm really hoping that I hope her address gets published on the internet. I hope this sort of thing does happen.
Yeah, I know
Anonymous
that
gets involved. The folks at Anonymous who will reveal the names and addresses of corrupt politicians or something like that. Home phone numbers, that kind of thing. Yeah, let's get Kim Davis's home phone number. Let's call her on this show. I would love it.
And there was one I think that I saw online was that the sign going into, because Kim Davis lives in a smaller town, that the route that she was supposed to take home from the prison, a group had bought a billboard or a number of billboards that were on the way home, and it said, just because you can no longer sell your daughter for 2 goats and a cow, we have already redefined marriage. Because that's her thing. That's her thing, is that, this gay is redefining marriage. Well, no, you're no longer, able to barter your daughter for livestock. That's already redefined marriage, I'm
sorry, go if you're going to start doing that, maybe you should start, refusing to sign the license of people who are divorced before and are getting married again. That's more of a dig on the sacrosanct sacrament of marriage than 2 people who love each other who've never been able legally or otherwise to get married before. I don't know. Even just talking about it exhausts me, SaraBelle. Like, I just go, ugh.
It's talking about things that just, trust me. I had a hour-long discussion with my grandmother about milk cookie at 11 o'clock at night, so I know what exacerbating discussions are like.
And what does your grandmother say about rainbow Doritos?
I haven't showed it to her. It is, oh, Mejita, what?
Yeah.
But Doritos are her favorite chip currently.
They are.
Yes, they are. My cousins from Montana brought them, and she just sat there, just like downed a whole bag by herself. So
go Nana! Nana's now my hero. That's tremendous. I mean, I ate a whole bag of Cool Ranch Doritos once, and I hallucinated for 3 days. Like that's amazing. What was I going to say?
Peyote.
Yeah, it was essentially the same thing, but only the Cool Ranch, right? If you just do it to the nachos, everything is going to be fine.
She likes the nacho ones, the red ones. So.
And the funny thing is, that's the nacho flavor that I got the year I was in Mexico, right? The Doritos pizza. Oh, the Doritos pizza. Have we talked about this?
We have talked about the Dorito pizza, yes.
I've shown pictures before. I'm going to briefly show pictures.
The Dorito pizza with the crumbles and everything.
I'm sorry, I cannot overstate this. If we go to images and we type in Doritos Pizza Hut, why can't I type tonight? I don't know. It was called the Hut Cheese. You can see the ad is in Spanish, and this pizza has actual pineapple on it. It does not have porcupine on it, but you can see the Doritos actually has chips on the pizza, like crumbled Dorito chips.
On top.
And I tell you what, this was the single best pizza I've ever eaten in the history of pizza. And it was one of those limited time only pizzas that they had in Mexico, and it was gone like the next month. And I wanted to go jump into the Laguna because it was like I get eaten by a crocodile because I had nothing to live for after the Doritos pizza went away.
I actually have a current event, recent Pizza Hut experience.
Tell me.
So everyone was here at my Nana's retirement home because my tata passed away, and we had 12 people in this little apartment. Now, this little apartment is maybe 14 by 14, including the kitchen. So we had 12 people in here. We ordered 3 pizzas from Pizza Hut. Hour and 15 minutes after it hasn't gotten here, we call Pizza Hut, and we're like, hey, where's our pizza? And they're like, well, we delivered to the apartment, but there was no one there. I'm like, no, there's 12 people here waiting for pizza.
Yeah.
So they sent out, and didn't make a new delivery, but they sent out new ones. And give me just 1 second because my grandmother's calling for me.
Okay, go ahead. That's no problem. I mean, you're watching the fast food, junk food extravaganza here on a Saturday night, the 19th of September, our first new show in a long time. Thanks for watching. We have not had the opportunity to do this show for a while because, as Sarah said, she had a death in the family and, a lot of family stuff going on. And frankly, so have I. So we've been really trying to sort of deal with all of the stuff and just watching reruns, but it is okay. Welcome back.
Well, yeah, my Nana's like, are you the only one out there?
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking? Yeah, no, who are you talking to? I'm like, well, Sebastian.
And the thousands of viewers, by the way, who are enjoying our commentary on fast food, junk food, and politics tonight.
So they said no. Well, we tried to deliver to the apartment. I'm like, well, there's 12 people here. We're still waiting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we'll wait outside because it's a retirement community. It could be hard. We went up to the front desk. We're like, did anyone try to deliver? They're like, no, no one tried to deliver. And 45 minutes later, so now it's been 2 hours, I get a call saying, I'm at your apartment. Where are you? I'm like, we're at the Cascades. Where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm at North. So
Sorry?
the dude
I missed the part there. You broke up. What was
He was at the address on South, and we were on the address on North.
I see. So it was like 105 South something, and you were at 105 North.
He delivered. I mean, Broadway is the median that splits North and South, so he was 1 block away. But he showed up, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I went to the wrong apartment twice." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you're sorry." And
we're
we still
starving.
free pizza. Yeah, no, and my and this is going to be one. Went on the Twitter, actually from the Miss SaraBelle NF, and spoke to the Pizza Hut, and the Pizza Hut actually got back, and so we ended up getting some free pizza coupons. But yeah, it was an ordeal.
I mean, mistakes like that can happen. Here's my question, though. They make you give your phone number when you order a pizza, right? Why did they not call the phone number when they did not get an answer at the first door?
When my cousin was the one who entered all the information, she put in my phone number wrong.
Oh my God.
But they still have once they had my phone, when I called them, that's when they called me and said, I'm at your apartment, where are you? So
wow. So I guess the moral of the story is triple check the phone number or use the app, right? That's the other thing is don't call the phone, don't call it in. There's too much that can go wrong. Use the app. Or use the website or something, because those apps are really good.
There was someone who, it was my cousin who entered it. She doesn't know my phone number. I just read it off to her and she entered it wrong.
Huh.
So.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Well, it's good of them to make it right anyway, because they did keep you waiting. And I mean, here's the thing. Mistakes happen. Nobody's perfect. Oh, yeah. But that's quite a story. Good for Pizza Hut for making it right, though. I like Pizza Hut, and I will always support Pizza Hut because they have some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I miss Pizza Guys, which is a Portland pizza place.
Tell me about Pizza Guys.
Pizza Guys always has a great kind of pizza. I don't know what it is. Their dough is not as processed as Papa John's or Pizza Hut or Domino's. And it always has really good toppings, and they always have a buy one get one free. So even though you're paying, $18 for one extra large pizza, you actually get two. So that's their ongoing special. I like it.
All right. Let's see here. I want to go back to Wikipedia. We're 4 minutes away from being over here, but I want to go back to Wikipedia and pull up the thing we did a couple of weeks ago, which is the list of national days.
Oh, yes.
And see what today is. Can we find the list of national days here and see? These are like Independence Days. I don't know if this is the right one. This is actually, go back here. I want to go to, here we go, the calendar at a glance, I think, nationaldaycalendar.com. And let's see, today is 2015, September. Let's see the entire list of national days. Today is the 19th.
19th.
So let's look. Oh, yesterday was National Cheeseburger Day.
I did see an article about it being National Cheeseburger Day yesterday.
And now today's National Talk Like a Pirate Day. I always said fuck that. Yeah. There doesn't look like there's any foods. Well, actually, today is actually International Eat an Apple Day, which I find a little silly. But it's also Big Whopper Liar Day, and we could eat a Burger King Whopper. Maybe, I don't know. National Monte Cristo Day was this week. National Apple Dumpling Day. What's coming up?
What's coming up?
National Punch Day is tomorrow. I assume that's like Hawaiian punch. National Pecan Cookie Day is on Monday.
Now, I understand pecan pie, but pecan cookie?
I don't mind. I mean, if you can have a walnut cookie, you can have a pecan cookie. Pecans are fine. I don't really mind that too badly. In fact, I make really good pecan pie. National Ice Cream Cone Day is the 22nd. I think that's Tuesday. I guess we have Celebrate Bisexuality Day on Wednesday, whatever. Cherry's Jubilee Day. I love Cherry's Jubilee. I don't drink alcohol, but I love the Cherry's Jubilee ice cream Baskin Robbins has. Yeah.
Agreed.
And let's see, I think a week from today, if I pull up the calendar here, is the 26th. It's National Dumpling Day. It's National Johnny Appleseed Day, and it's National Pancake Day, SaraBelle.
I think we might have to go to IHOP, because I think on National Pancake Day, you get free pancakes at IHOP.
Ooh, I love the idea there. Okay. Well, anyway, it's been our lovely hour talking to you, my dear, even though usually we're, like 1,000 miles away from each other. And today we're like maybe 8 miles away from each other, if not less.
I don't think we're that far away from each other. It's just the you working, me working kind of thing.
And I mean, again, the funny thing is I've had 6 classes up until this point. I have an hour off, and then I've got other classes, 2 more classes to teach tonight. Please, please, if you're out there, students, don't show up for class. Just go ahead and take the night off, even though you paid for it. I mean, I will be
Right.
there standing by in case you do show up, but in case you don't, I will be eating delicious Cheetos and a double butter popcorn here, and it will be sensational. SaraBelle, it is always good to see you, my darling. My best to your Nana.
Yes, I will, and I do want to say hi to BB-8 on the air.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous, frankly. I gotta say, I thought this was going to be kind of a stupid, silly toy for 150 bucks, and now seeing that you have one, hold it up again and speak some.
Yeah, so there we go. And he can say, well, I'm going to try to hold him, but he can say yes. And then he can do no, if I can get him to say no. Ah, no. Damn it.
Can he answer questions posed to him in English? Like if you say, what, you know, like, is the door open? Can he say yes to that? Or do you just have to make him shake it?
Can he say yes? To make him shake. He does learn eventually, so yes. Do you learn? Yes. And unfortunately, his speaker is in the phone, so he himself doesn't make noise, but the app does.
I see. Well, that's almost as good.
Yeah. But he's adorable. He's my little buddy. Adorable.
I can't wait to explore more about BB-8 and you and me with you, the audience, here on the Fast Food, Junk Food Extravaganza. But for another week, I'm Sebastian.
I'm SaraBelle.
And we will see you next week at 10 o'clock p.m. West Coast time, 0500 GMT. Good night.
Good night.